Also, a big growing theory online, a conspiracy throughout this beef, and specifically more now after the Drake legal action against UMG, Spotify over Not Like Us in the defamation case. We had people like Joe Budden saying and suggesting that Drake might have been dropping mid music and albums all these years on purpose.
I agree.
Drake, for those who don't know, in 2021 signed a multi-year deal with UMG, which was reportedly valued up to $400 million, right? Maybe more. We don't know. This was titled as a LeBron-sized deal and the richest in music history. Richest deal in music history, supposedly. And it gave UMG a stake in multiple revenue streams of Drake's. Drake also owns his masters, which means he holds the copyright to the original recordings of his songs, and this is considered the essential and real estate of the music industry, et cetera, et cetera. This was a 2021 deal. This was 3 years ago. What do you have here? The Central C lyrics?
Mm-hmm.
What does it say?
JAUM, how looks when man put you in a jam like typos. Negotiation asking for 20% of the company, that's my final.
Oh, yeah. He did say that. Negotiation down the... He did rap that. So to add back to the Central C lyric on the by Drake freestyle, the Drake lyrics on the radar freestyle with Central C, he did say negotiation. I need 20%. He wants 20% of the deal, blah 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 of the company. I'm assuming UMG.
Yeah.
UMG.
No, he said UMG in the beginning.
It has to be UMG.
He said UMG and some bullshit.
He
like
wants
that.
UMG, 20% of UMG.
Which you never
And, 200 mils on the table, but he doesn't want that. Or if he does get that, it would be with 20% of UMG. These are little, what's it called? Nuggets or like crumbs? Biscuits? Whatever the motherfuckers call it. What do they call it? Biscuits? That he just lays out?
Yeah,
little crumbs?
Biscuits. And also, they're crashing on the chat
Getting me hungry talking about like this.
They're saying you're bugging for the whole idea that he dropped bullshit.
Oh, but listen. So this is the theory. So in 2021... Drake dropped Certified Lover Boy. Certified Lover Boy was promoted as a Take Care Part 2, damn near. That's what it was rolled out as.
Yeah.
Take Care Part 2. I believe that's when we had Drake like do the heart in his head, right?
I remember.
He did the heart in his head. And it was like a whole energy of like, oh, this guy is gonna do Take Care Part 2. This is what we want. We get the album. A huge letdown. First reaction. First listen is like, this could be better. What is this? Drake's childish. The cover art was childish.
It was a bad album for me.
Right? It was a bad album. Maybe his worst. Maybe his worst album.
You think that was the worst one?
It might be his worst. And also, the cover art had pregnant women emojis.
Yeah, that shit was
It's
crazy.
like a troll. What the fuck is this Drake? What are we getting? Right? Then he followed it with another troll album that it felt like, Honestly Nevermind, which wasn't even hip hop. It was like house music. What the fuck? Out of nowhere. And it's like, okay, what the fuck?
It's like an experimental album.
Experimental album. Drake is like, people were like, what is this? I liked it, but people were like, this is not what we want. What is this shit?
Yeah.
Right? Fast forward again, we have another collab album, Her Loss, 21 Savage and Drake, right? Which had more Drake music than 21 Savage music on it, but it was a collab album nonetheless. People felt how they felt about it. I liked it. I think it was better than CLB. I think it was better than Honestly Nevermind. I think Her Loss was one of the better albums that year. But then continuing, we have For All the Dogs, Fat D. Another Take Care 2 classic on the way promoted album. Was not that at all.
Yeah.
Was not that at all. Another letdown album. I think better with time has grown throughout the year. The 1 year anniversary came recently. But then we also have to count into this deal. I'm going to count Scary Hours 3. I'm going to count Scary Hours 3 as a separate project release because he promoted it as such. It was rolled out as such. And when you go to listen to the album, it would say Scary Hours 3 version, etc.
Mm-hmm.
I would think contractually that probably counted as another Drake project, right? And he also had music videos from that. Mm-hmm. That song that he rolled out almost as a single, a phenomenal song. What was that name of that song? It was good as fuck. It wasn't just straight rapping. It was more of like a single vibe.
It was
Scary Hours 3 off Scary Hours 3.
Scary Hours 3. Fuck
my ex.
Yeah, he did a
You broke my heart. Did a music video with Morgan
That's my
Wallen.
shit.
It was rolled out as a single, right? And I think that song is phenomenal. That could have been huge.
That's a great song.
That could have been bigger. I don't know what the fuck
That
happened
shit
there.
wasn't number one.
They dropped the ball. No, they dropped the ball with that one. That could have been a big like radio song. I don't know. God bless. Better than a lot of songs on the original For the Dogs.
No, yeah, I always said it. The EPs
Scary
were
Hours
better.
was better than.
Yeah,
the
Scary
entire
Hours
album.
3 was better than For the Dogs.
Yes.
And now it's rumored that the last album on this contract is the Party Next Door album. Or whatever album he drops next, which seems to be is going to be the Party Next Door album.
That's crazy. So he's gonna take that from Party Next Door to get out to.
Yeah. But these are all rumors and speculations. But think about that.
If that's
I
the
said
case,
it when
bro.
CLB dropped.
If
I
that's-
felt like, what the fuck is this? You could go harder. To Drake's standards, it doesn't live up to like a Views or like a fucking Nothing Was the Same, a Take Care. I'm like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Some of his features are better than. I'm like, what is this?
Yeah.
Could he just be dropping mid on purpose? I don't think so, but it's possible. And unfortunately, it is possible. And I wish it is not. Because that would be a terrible excuse to just drop music that's not good. Because according to him, a couple years later, niggas say my shit's a classic. Whatever he said, whatever the lyric is. He always says
Yeah.
that music, people doubt his music, but then years later you
They
say it's
call it
classic.
a classic.
He
Yeah.
said that about the house. Album.
Yeah. And like he seems confident about all his releases.
Yeah.
But this guy,
But this is my point. This is
why
why.
fuck up your discography just for the sake of getting out of a deal? Doesn't make sense.
And you segued it to a perfect conversation. Yo, I think we need to have a conversation what money's done to this world. Because a lot of you are crashing out right now saying, there's no way. That is impossible. Yo, Meg was dropping some ass. Meg Thee Stallion was dropping some ass when she was on that contract.
She could twerk really good.
Nigga, it was Vic. It was bigger than the ass she got. That music was terrible. It was basura. Her recent single, that shit is fire. And I'm like, where the fuck did this come from? I thought you sucked. Nigga, Lil Uzi running around telling academics that wasn't even my real album. And I fully believe it. I fully believe that
Bro,
shit.
He said the same shit about the fucking.
And I think that's true too,
the
because he's
one
been
before
beefing,
that.
bro. But he's been beefing with drama for so long. I think we won't accept that the music industry has become a business. It is no longer about music and art and discographies and legacy. It is solely about money. And when I know how niggas move when it comes to money, niggas move shiesty and they do wicked shit. I could fully see a scenario where a lot of these artists are dropping some ass.
Yeah.
They're mailing shit home because they want to get out of their deals. I'm not going to lie to you, and a lot of people are going to hate me to say this. Mr. Morale was exactly that.
You think so?
He shipped that shit. What are we talking about right now? He didn't put his foot in that. Nigga wanted out of that shit, bro. And I hate this shit. Like, I hate when we talk and we don't tell the truth. I know a business move when I see one. These niggas is shipping albums out, hoping to get out of a deal, bro. And it's sad that music is no longer like a legacy thing. It's like Vic said, it's no longer about your discography. It's to get out of a fucking deal because you want to make money. God bless.
I mean, it would suck to be the truth, but playing devil's advocate, thinking from that perspective, if you are doing this for a living as a business, making music, contractually you do have to drop product, right? Now, if you're a human being that obviously is living life, famous, stressed, touring, you might not feel the energy to make that product. But contractually, you have to make the product. A good sample size or example, let's just say, to compare this to, could be the movie industry. The movie industry actors had to do a certain amount of work every year for their medical and insurance as actors to be approved and applied. This has been proven. Actors have said this in interviews. They have to stay in work for them to get benefits, etc. That's why that we have seen a lot of times actors do some bullshit movies.
Yeah.
Samuel L. Jackson's a legend.
He's done some bullshit.
We didn't need to see him get some fucking snakes off the fucking goddamn plane. We didn't need that. But then maybe contractually he needed that. Also, he needed to do something. And a lot of times these actors with these movies, they film 3 movies a year. You don't see them physically around, but these movies are in production being made for the next 2 years. They already had them shits filmed, backed up, have a back catalog, but they're constantly working. They're constantly doing something, but then it's not like every year they do one movie, it drops that year. You know, there's a contractually things they have to do. There's some bullshit movies. biggest actors in the world have had bad movies.
I think a lot of those Marvel movies are bullshit contractual movies.
It could be. It could easily be. It could easily be. But now, does it work that way in the music industry? It could. Unfortunately, it could. I would hate for it to be Drake's case because I think that would just be justifying releasing bad music. And
I agree.
That shouldn't be the case because Drake has the ability to drop flawless music. So does Kendrick Lamar. So does J. Cole. So does Tyler, the Creator. So does Kanye West. So do all the greats. You're great for that reason. And you have had classic albums. You have had flawless music. You know what you're capable of doing. Now, if this is the mid, let's say that theory. Let's play that theory out. After the lawsuit, after all this happens,
You
let's
better give me
say
a flawless album.
exactly. Let's say Drake goes independent. Let's say Drake beats UMG. Okay, whatever. Nigga, that shit better be the best music you've ever dropped in your life.
In your fucking life, I agree.
It has to be the best music you dropped in your life. Not only that, for the rest of your life. Like it has to be like your next 3 albums after have to be the shit. If you were purposely bullshitting.
Yeah.
Now, if they're just as bad as these previous albums or just as good, or however you want to interpret them, people are going to call it out.
No, of course.
It's going to be clear as day that you might not have been to the capabilities of what your core fan base might have thought. Like, this guy's undefeatable. I thought that for years. I'm like, Drake, I said it. Drake, I still kind of believe this, though, the concept of without the music industry, without Drake being in the music industry, this shit could be cooked.
I agree.
Because he takes a big portion of the market share. We technically have yet to see that. We're kind of seeing glimpses of that right now. But a full year without Drake music, I think it would be a big negative impact to the music industry. But does he give a fuck? I don't know. Maybe he's just like, yo, that's
Red
what
button.
I want to cause. That's what I want to do. I want to destruct. I want to fuck shit up.
My other thing is this: like when I say that theory, understand? I listen to unreleased music all the time. I'm like an unreleased music dick eater, yo. And for you niggas coming at me right now in the chat about the Kendrick thing, yo, I'm a Kendrick dick eater. I listen to his unreleased. I know what Mr. Morale was supposed to sound like. I listened to Tranquilizer. There is nothing on that album that measures to a lot of that unreleased music, which makes me believe and makes me wonder, did you drop what you dropped because you weren't trying to give them what you really wanted to give us? And that is with a bunch of artists. I've seen it with Uzi. I've seen it with Playboy's unreleased. I've seen it with a lot of different niggas' unreleased music where I sit here and I'm like, so this is what the album was supposed to sound like and you chose to go this direction. It makes me sound like you have label issues. And it makes me sound like you want to get the fuck out your deal and you don't want to give them this, you don't want to give the music to the people because you know we're still gonna stick around and you want to deal with the label first. And that is the label's fault. I don't blame the artist a lot of times. The label has set the precedent and the artists are just following. God bless.
Man,
But Drake has to drop fire. He don't drop fire and be heated.
it has to be the best music of his life.
Then he's just ass and he's mid. God bless.
It has to be like something that we just can't stop playing. Like, it's like, oh my God. Like, we talk about that shit every fucking day. Like his past albums have been. There's been times when that does happen. He's Drake for that fucking reason. Kendrick Lamar dropped his album GNX, and in 1 week. And that was a clip from our podcast, the Club Ambition podcast. Cap, if you're looking to watch the full episode, make sure to go check it out right now. It's available on audio and also on YouTube.